Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do. Oh, we about to go back. I'm about to go back to my original. All right, I got a nice little lesson for you. So get your popcorn, get comfortable. This could be a minute, but it's going to be interesting. All right, let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. It's message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. You got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. And yeah, that's what I'm on, dog. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Get up out of this material world. Right thinking way of life, and that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get you right thinkers to do just that. I got all the material and information you need to do just that. That's what I'm here doing what I do for you every day. Let's go. That's the right thinking way. All right. Know thyself, and I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes or think they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinking, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. This is the modern version. Alright. Compared to the original. When I did this lesson, I'm about to break you in onto what they call Kundalini. But what we call it is serpent power or the souls of Ra. I'm trying to give you a few pictures as we go along to help you along. See what this look like? You see judgment? That judgment is 7 rings, right? You see Ahmet, he taking a bite from between 3 and 4 rings. Other side is Ptah. That's the spinal column of Asar. It got 7 rings on it. That go from fourth to 7. But let's break down this whole concept. This is gonna be fun. I did this about 5 years ago. So for all if I got it right there, who's been around since the beginning, you know who you are. You would know this. But for our wrestlers, I did this at my radio station I work for. Can you feel us on the internet? So it's new for you. Let's do what we do. I got something nice for you. Right thinkers, let's talk about it's chapter 11 in my book, Egyptian Yoga. Okay, the original, I called it my Bible. I carried that book everywhere. I read that book from cover to cover a few times. So I'm pretty good with that one. Now I'm back in my wheelhouse again. So let's have some fun. I got you. It's going to take a minute, but it's going to be good. The scales of Mayat and souls of Ra. I just gave you the picture. Now, the concept is master the fire of the back, the life giving force. Kundalini, the serpents. The twin serpents is Aset and Neftet. Okay? I'm going to try to break it down as we go because it's a lot of information. But I'm going to try to give it to you where you can understand it. The Kundalini, the chakras by India. I've been teaching this for years. Okay? I put the lesson together for you. Let's go. We're gonna have a little bit of Masonic information in here. We have a little bit of Egyptian information in here, a little bit of Hindu, a little bit of India, but it's all predicated in this where it all come from. That's my point. Now let's start out with the 7 powers and energy centers. What the hell is that? Glad you asked. See, if you see right here at the top, there's a bar. Okay. You see what's on the top? That's a baboon. Okay. That's Tahuti. But you see the rings? It's 7 of them. Okay. Let's break it down. About to be fun. Each ring on that scale represents an energy center that's in the body. Okay, we know them as chakras, but ancients called it serpent power because at the bottom of the root chakra sits at the spine. It's like a coiled serpent waiting to be activated so he can work his way up through the body to hit pay dirt, bang, and enlighten you with consciousness, knowledge of self. That's what I teach. This is where it comes from. So I'm right where I need to be. Let's go. Now, they call this, Egyptians call it the weighing of the heart, because at Judgment Day, depending how far you was up on that scale, was depending where you landed. And I told you, I showed you where I'm at from 4 down. Masons, when you get 3 degrees of masonry, you're not out the woods either. You're still living on what they call a beastly nature when it comes to consciousness. So you may know a little bit enough to survive, but you ain't enlightened. Okay, so you gotta go to the next 4 degrees, the red house. Okay, another lesson, but let's go. So the weighing of a heart of who? The deceased, excuse me, against who? The feather of Maat. That's the picture with the ab on one side and Maat on the other, or the feather pendant. But you see, usually Tahuti is standing there, scribe and keep information. At Judgment Day, he sits on top of the scales, okay, of Maat. And Anubis make sure the balance is correct. Make sure you get a fair shake. That's his job. He's the fair and just God. Just did a lesson about that. That's where I got that from. Being fair and just is just doing what's supposed to be done. That's it. No more, no less. So we got to deal with, we got the goddess Mayat down here in the Mayate form with the 2 twins, Isis and Neptet. They represent in the hall of Mayat because Neptet represents death. Isis represents immortality. So they go together. They're the great mourners too, another lesson, but that's who they are. They preside over the judgment day, Judgment Day. Now, each rung on the rack represents a level of chakra energy centers of what? Evolution of the heart consciousness. That's the figure B of the deceased. Your initiate against what? The feather of my heart. That's the scale you're there, Judgment Day. But now the judgment is presided over by who? Again, Tahuti, which represents what? Your wisdom faculty. Now, these are all aspects of yourself. So it's not somebody, no, it's you. Understand that. That's why you got to master the concept and understand it for yourself. This is what's going on. Now, Tahuti represents wisdom and faculty of the deceased in the form of the baboon sitting on top. Then you got Anubis keeping scales correct. This is from the papyrus. Now let's go on down. In ancient Egypt, there existed a concept of 7 vortex of energy that's inside the subtle spine called Sefek, Sephek, of, they called it Sefek Ba Ra. I mean, the spirits, the souls of Ra. Ba is soul. Ra is Ra. So the 7 souls of Ra, that's what they called it. Okay, that's what we called it. We know now it's Kundalini and all that good stuff, but we knew what it was. Okay, now in India, here we go. Trying to let you understand, they are called chakras. Same thing, just different name. Watch this. So now in the beginning, you had Netter, which means one, God. He tell you, and then through what? The power of thought, he became 3. Hence the Trinity. Amun, Ra, Ptah. Hidden, seen, and manifest. That's the concept. That was our concept in ancient Egypt. I'm not talking about the Trinity right now. I could care less about your Bible thumpers, which I know this is about my concept from ancient Egyptians. Bible wasn't even around then. So shut up. From these 3 came what? The uncountable number of what? Netters, which through the extension of what? Their consciousness, all of here, mental, thought, power. Created what? The projection. We live in a hologram. Illusion. There you go. Matrix. Which what? We call creation. You look up, see the create all that. Yeah. But we're down here living as little ball. Okay. But watch this. So these are the souls of Ra, Hadu, which is the spirit that's in us. It all ties in. The netters what sustain and they govern creation. Remember, the sun, air, water, earth, heaven. Those are elements. That's what the earth is ran on. That's Maat. That's order. That's what keep everything where it's supposed to be. If the sun this way, it don't work. So that's what we told you about the Maat philosophy. That's the concept. But watch this. Netters sustain and govern creation with their thought power levels of consciousness. Watch this. The task is then what? To attune the seven individual energy consciousness centers where that's in the human being with the seven powers of the universe. God. Through what? Wisdom and virtue. Pin in that right now. You know why the number seven is so prevalent? Those are the seven visible planets. We know that. I always tell you that. But it's also the seven chakras that's in the body that the India took it and made it a whole religious concept. They built the whole religion off that. We just had an aspect we used it. Like I said, I did this years ago, so I fully understand it. I'm just bringing it back to show you I'm fully versed in Kundalini. And the concept is it would take you 7 years to master the Kundalini concept. Yeah, one level a year. When I was a Masonic master, teacher of Dean instructions, I tried to let impose the thought. They couldn't even conceive 7 years. See? Even then, they was on that idea. Right now, no. You had to be proficient. And as a teacher and the dean of instruction, and I'm the one who given, if you haven't shown me what we call suitable proficiency in the preceding degree, you ain't getting another one. So you got guys with 7 degrees don't know jack about nothing, at least all them damn selves. But they claim to be this. I'm a real art master. You don't need but 7 degrees of consciousness. We got 12 conscious concept steps, another lesson, but that's for the zodiac. Okay, for every number is significant. It's a purpose and a reason. I try to give you the purpose and the reason. Let's go. That's my goal. That's to call it esoteric teaching. All right. So with the virtue and wisdom, you become godlike in the flesh. Now, the knowledge of what? Attainment. Here, the knowledge of the attainment of what? Wisdom and virtue are what? Are encompassed where? In the 42 confessions and principles of Maya. We give you guidelines to follow. And if, like I said, religion, right now, if you're a good Christian, live by Christ's commandments, and you'll be fine. I got no problem with you. A lot of y'all don't do that. So I got a problem with y'all. So understand that. So I ain't got nothing against religion, nothing against Christians. Okay? Nothing against nobody who doing what they profess to do. If you're wrong about what you're doing, I can't respect you for that. But if you believe, you know, but you really don't, I can't respect you for that. I will avoid you. Simple. Moving on. I teach. Moving on. Now, what the attained knowledge of wisdom and virtue are lessons that's encompassing in the 42 precepts of Maya, which are in number 6 times 7, 42. Books of Hermes, y'all call them Hermes. We know him as Tahuti. Again, the Greek name Hermes. He even took Hermes, Tahuti, and mixed it with Anubis, Hernubis. All this nonsense, but neither here nor there. This lesson is about the chakras and what they represent from the Egyptian concept, who originated. It didn't start in India. No offense, but y'all took it and made it great. I ain't got a problem with that. I'm fully aware. Watch this. But Tahuti, which contains what? The knowledge. He's your brain of what? The nature of what? The universe, which is also the subject which we're going to be talking about. Okay? Knowledge of the universe is knowledge of self. Universal knowledge is self-knowledge. See where I'm going with this? Okay, here we go. The psychic energy center is what they call them. And they're located in your spiritual body. This is the physical. The spirit is inside here. And on that spirit body, you got your your chakras. And when you live and do right, act right, and follow the guidelines that's set forth by Maya philosophy, something will happen. Watch. I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay, that's the preview. Watch where I'm going with this. Now, they located in your spiritual body, and what? It runs parallel to your spinal column. The energy centers are 7 centers of what? Expanding levels of consciousness, knowledge of self from the base of your spine down here to tail, spinal, the physical part, the root chakra, the first one, that's your physical, your animal consciousness. And the most physical, the most baddest person we know is Apophis. You know him as a pet, or maybe you not know. But he's the one that Ra, son, right? He has a nemesis, darkness. That's Apophis. He represents the opposite of Ra. Everything is in duality. Even light got an opposite, darkness. So understand that everything should be understood. And once you start putting it together, oh, it makes sense. Yes. Sorry. I get excited. But Apophis is the nemesis to Ra. When Ra set here on earth, when he go in the underworld, he's in Apophis domain. And he holds him there for what? 12 hours. He got to fight his way out. Now, when he come out, he good to go for 12 hours. But so when he go back, then he got to deal with that. That's another concept, but I love that idea. Watch this. Now, that's the ultimate animal consciousness is Apophis. To the top of your spiritual consciousness and at the crown of the head, guess what's there? That snake. They call it the Uraeus. We know it as Buto, B-U-T-O. That's the serpent with wings. You ever seen a serpent with wings? But that's the concept of the spirit. Okay? It's wise, wisdom from the serpent. He took a bad rap when he gave Eve the apple, according to them, but another lesson. But no, the serpent has always been considered wise. In India, they love him. Why? They know what he is. They understand him. They ain't misconstrued about, oh, he gave Eve the apple. He all that nonsense. But let's talk about this. Now, as in India, let's talk about that right quick. India, the chakra system, the Egyptian 7 powers are related to the 7 energy centers of the spine and are linked to what? The awakening. You awaken with knowledge. You become conscious. That's what I say. Consciousness. God is pure conscious. He's already woke. But it says we're in his dream. Okay. We just inside his world. This is his world. Again, understand that. And the awakening, watch this. The awakening of one's what? Spiritual powers. You only as good as you know what you believe you are. And we have gifted spiritual powers that if we tap into them, oh Nelly, we got a few gifted, talented people in the world, and we think they the God's gift. Why? Because they exercising it. We all got the same powers. Moving on. And watch this. As one progresses in what? There. Remember, every individual has a right. Watch this. As one progresses on their spiritual path, of evolution, meaning you're aspiring to be better. You're growing in consciousness. Why? To know yourself. There's a purpose and a reason for this. Now watch this. While either purposely employing what? A spiritual discipline. She taught Netta, right thing philosophy. We follow spiritual discipline. Maat. And you study in the application of your spiritual philosophical scripture. Right there. I read, I study, I learn, and but more important, I activate it. I manifest it to find out do it work. And I'm telling you to a man, it works. Why? I learned my philosophical scriptures, I read, and watch this. I reflect on what I read. I meditate on what I read, and then I manifest what I've learned. So it's no longer a belief or what I read. Now it's an experience. That's wisdom. When you experience something, you know it for yourself. I'm trying to get every right thinker to experience that connection to God for themselves because that's how it's done. Okay, let's go. Hope we're clear on that. So when you do reflective meditation, watch this. That's one way. Or watch this. Learning through the most everybody processes what? Trial and error. And you do it, no, it don't work, don't do that no more. Like the mouse in the maze. When he gets shot, he ain't taking that route no more. Shut that down. Why? He ain't going that way again. We as humans, we ain't got the wherewithal to, if something ain't working, stop. The definition of insanity, to continue to do something and think we'll get a different result. Fire is hot. Every time you touch it, it's going to burn you. It ain't going to change. So understand that some things are just common sense. You ain't got to be a brain surgeon to understand common sense. Okay. Watch this. Now, most people go through what? Old trial and error. Now, these centers will what? will automatically open. Your spiritual consciousness will automatically open whether you're conscious of it or not. When I went through my awakening, I wasn't conscious of it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing the right thing. I was just living it. I was manifesting what I was reading. I was bringing it to fruition. And something started happening. It's still happening. But that's become the awakening. You start to realize a few things about yourself. Wow. That should be enough to keep you busy. Worrying about what Johnny doing, what Susie doing, I could care less. How many friends you got? None. Could care less. When you do these things, your Kundalini will automatically open. And what'll happen? Allowing you to what? Experience what? Here we go. Increasing communion with who? With the higher self. Big bold letters, God. That's the goal for humans, spiritual beings having a human experience. Your goal is to get to God while you're here. Why? That's how you get back home. Being rich and famous and all that nonsense means nothing to God. This is all man. This is all the devil, though. He gave you this. This is the world of the devil. Why? Everything's fun here. Ain't no spiritual going on. We're not spiritual. We are spiritual beings by nature. We are losing our spirituality because of ignorance of self. We see that. But now we get more caught up in this material world. Everybody just wants. Everybody just wants. That's not good for us as a people. That's called self-destruction. Sorry about that. I don't know why I went into a little preaching ceremony there, but yeah, trust me. The process of raising one's what? Spiritual power. Knowledge may be accomplished how? By concentrating properly, breathing properly. I watched the whole show for an hour on how to breathe. We think just inhaling, exhaling, and breathing. No, that's just surviving. Okay, that's just normal. There's some art to some of the things we can do to get more oxygen to the body, to the brain, cut it off, let it go. So these are things that breathing teaches you. Meditation, my favorite. Meditation is when you go into a state of stillness and relax and let your higher power talk to you, relate to you. My pastor tell me he gets his information downloaded from God. I understand why, because that's why I get mine. So I can't, oh God, I'm glad somebody else doing it besides me. I felt a little, but he told me that, I felt better. Okay. Now, when you're communing with God, that means you're in a meditative state. That's all. And when you become God conscious, you finally realize you and God are one. You never leave God. So I don't stop thinking about it. Why? Why should? That's what the devil wants you. Put your mind on something other than God, and he'll get you. Moving on. So meditating on what? The meanings of the signs and symbols and your surroundings to what? To the will of your, excuse me, sorry about that. Surrendering, you surrendering to the will of your higher self. I call it spiritual discipline. If it ain't pleasing to God, I ain't doing it. Back then, I could care less if it was pleasing to anybody but moi. Selfish, egoistic thoughts. I was ignorant. I ain't got a problem with that. Now I'm not. A lot of people still are. That's not my problem. Moving on. But these techniques, again, practicing will allow you to what? Listen, transform. Like the caterpillar syndrome. You can't keep just inching on through life. You got to go into that cocoon of self-knowing, self-knowledge, finding yourself, and then coming out a brand new butterfly, beautifully, one of a kind, unique. And we all have the opportunity to do that while in the physical body because that's what the spirit needs for it to go home. Now, it will transform one's what? Waking personality so that what? You may discover your innermost self. Again, God, big bold letters. This should be what? Done. Here you go. Under the guidance of what? A qualified teacher, a spiritual master, a guru, a sage, etc. Yeah, this is what I do. Why? I know what I'm doing. I earned this position by putting in my work. So I'm not beat for, oh, no, no, nope. I'm just teaching. So those who want to learn, tune in. I got you. Those who want to argue, debate, I ain't got time for you. That's a waste of my time. Moving on. Now let's talk about the suffix Sefekh, Bara. It means the seven souls of Ra, or suffix Ujat, which is the seven serpent goddesses. And you look at the old ancient gods, the female goddesses was in serpent form. Okay? We got serpent, yeah, why? That's because they were representing God. Now, you got the subtle body, you got the energy centers of the human body. The seven energy centers are represented, they're considered psycho, meaning what? It's up here in the mind. Psycho energy centers in a spiritual body are what? Distributed throughout the spine, going up the base to the crown of the spine, the back of the head, aka the uraeus. Okay, this is my look. My uraeus look like the cobra. Mm-hmm. Also, you see them guys. All the guys wear hoodies. Okay, the bad guy, the good guy, they all wore hoodies. So that's how I keep them up. All right, but that's a look. Now let's talk about the seven chakras, aka Kundalini. The first one is called Sefekh, Sefekht. It corresponds with the first energy. They call them consciousness and places of knowledge. Every center has an equivalent of knowledge to it. As you raise up, you line them up, they line up. Now you become a perfect working machine. Why? When all the chakras line up, the Kundalini goes up to the top. You become enlightened. You are a different being. You are an enlightened being. That's what spirituality is all about, getting you to know your inner self, your real self, which is God. Now, let's talk about this. There's going to be a little paragraph. I'm going to read some, but it's going to be a minute. I'm breaking it down for you. This is the first energy center, the conscious center in the Indian Sanskrit. It's called the Muladhara Hara, the Mulad Hara chakra. They got names for all of them. I got right here. I'm going to play a little game right here. This is the base chakra. Okay. And I always tell you, everyone got different colors. So let's start with the red. Okay. And at one time, red is my favorite color. I know why. I understand why. So let's go. Now, also known as Shishat, it is the root center chakra, which is located in the base of the spine, and it is the level of energy. Watch this, how smart. Every level you get smarter, you get more and more conscious. That's what they call it, consciousness. Now, this is the first energy consciousness, and what we use it to what? Manifest, project our bodies on the physical plane of existence. That's this lower level. So that our spirit that's inside the body may be able to have what? An experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience in the physical realm. Please understand that. Watch this. So the energies here are concerned with survival, issues, and an unbalanced state of mind. You're still ignorant, so it's okay, but that's the first level. And your manifest comes out of what? Fear, selfishness, ego, possessiveness, more ego, etc. You see, we're going just to the first level. That's not the good place to be, but we all start there. That's the base. Watch this. Now, and it also represents what? The dormant, coiled up serpent. Again, waiting. It don't move at the first level. Okay? Remember, listen, people, watch this. Now, and it's an uncontrolled what? Sexual energy. At this level, you concerned with what? Boom, boom. And watch this. And it also represented by who? Apophis, the big red demon. That's why this the devil is red. This is color. That's why fire, red. Okay. But Apophis is what? He's the enemy of Ra. Or watch this. The task to what? Is to what? Your task in the human form is to convert what? That sexual energy. I gave you a lesson, boy, about semen retention. The most powerful ingredient in man is his semen. What? That's what gives life. Think about it. So moving on. But when you just ejaculate and just spinning it, just running around, you taking life away from yourself. Semen retention teaches that if you keep that purified sperm inside you, it goes up the ladder, get purified, and come back down. Another lesson. But that's the concept. We had it way back then. So watch this. Your sexual energy into what? it turns your sexual energy into spiritual energy, life, thereby achieving what? Expanded consciousness in the realms above and beyond the physical is a must. We must develop what? And rise and master what? This energy. I keep telling you, you can't get to 7 without going through 1 through 6. And there's some things you got to do to go through every one. Let's understand that. So watch this. To master the energy all the way to the 7th energy center, thus becoming what? One with the universe, aka God. The mastery, and as I say, self-mastery is when you go to all 7 of these channels. I'm about to bring you through them. The mastery of the primal energies is represented by the goddess Buto, again, of Egypt, and the goddess of Kundalini, Kundalini in India. They all both represented by serpents. Okay, I'm sure I got the picture somewhere right here. But yeah, we're going through the first level. Okay. Red is just attractive. Everybody just red jumps out at you. So that's the first level. Now, next level. Orange, the sacral chakra. Love, the next dimension of myself. This is where the ego steps in. Watch this. Now, the second one is Tek, Tekh. Now, this corresponds to the second energy consciousness center chakra in India, Sanskrit. This is called the Swadhisthana chakra. Now, and it is what? It's in the area of the organs, right around here somewhere, right around the, sexual organs. Now, uh, it's in the area of the organs of procreation. There you go. The gonads, the ovaries in the female, the gonads in the man, where if controlled, here, where if controlled by what? Your higher centers, cosmic energy may be absorbed and what? Transmuted to create more than just physical offspring. One may give birth to their untapped creative talents. Again, finding what you're good at, practicing it, nurturing it, and get paid for it. A lot of them doing that. Oh, they got a natural talent. You might well pay them. Back in the day, you become a freak show. They paid you, but you was part of a freak show, the circus. Look at the strong man. Look at the all that nonsense. Again, all these are gifts that man experiments with and glorifies or degrades, whichever he feel the need to do. But however, if you, the individual, is what? Psychologically developed, meaning you got your head on right, you got your stuff together. Watch this. To this level, only if you're just on the second level, he or she will what? Will be preoccupied with sexual manners. The whole world must be on this damn level because that's all everybody wants to do. Oh, I'm so tired of calm down, calm down, relax. Yeah, I gotta remember, just teach. Don't get into the personal. Remember, detach and keep in dispassion. Take your emotions out, deal with it for what it is, and don't get caught up in it. You see what happens when you get caught emotionally, it's hard to stay level. So yeah, same thing. Let's get to level 3 right quick. I see this clock is rolling. I don't even give a damn about the clock at this point. I'm teaching, so the clock, do what you do. I'm doing what I do for you. Stay tuned. I got you. Now, third level is called the AB or the OB, AB or OB. This corresponds with the third energy level, which is the yellow one, okay? McDonald's, woo, that big golden arches. Everybody love that. But watch this. Now, once you get past this 1.5 bump and grind, you got raised up to this level, third level. Now, this the third energy level of consciousness. It represents the Manipura chakra. I like that. It's located where? In the solar plex, right here above the navel. Okay, we getting there. You're starting to rise. You see, we going with this from the bottom. It's starting to rise through the body. It's a natural order. And trust me, it works. Watch this. And located in solar plexus, the virtual fire, which sustains the physical body, started out. Now it gets yellow, don't it? Okay, the flame get yellow every now and then. So watch this. It's perfect. The fire, which sustains the physical body, is located there. Okay, this energy center gives one what? A sense of power and will. Now, meditation on this spot sends what? Your second. We call it second, or some people call it, it's the female concept of energy. We call it second, and they call it prana or chi. We know it as Sakam, Indians, Prana, Chinese, Japan is sheep. Okay, but this is the vital energy of this center, which what promotes health by increased digestion and equal distribution of what energy throughout the body, the effect of physical and emotional balance. At this level, you start to put it together. You start at masonry. We start to know who we are, present ourselves as better men. Yeah, that does that. That's at that third level. Watch this. Now, this is the prerequisite. Here we go. For what? Higher spiritual advancement. I tell all my third degree master masons, you haven't mastered yourself. You mastered the art of masonry, the concept that we represent. Yeah. Now, if you want to get better and be better, you got to raise up. I just teach that. Unknown, unbeknownst to me. I just knew that third level, yeah, you need some more. So, okay, at that level, you got imbalance or obstruction of what? The energy centers and manifests as what? Feelings of inadequacy, powerlessness. One feels incapable of expressing their willpower. You stuck in that quagmire of life. They just beat you down. You really ain't can't get your stuff together. But as Mason, you're supposed to be a master Mason. You don't know jack. Okay, so now the fourth to the seventh energy. Now we're gonna get involved. The fourth to the seventh energy centers, chakras, represent what? The evolution of spiritual life. You came to the physical part. Now you got to raise your conscious level to the spiritual level. And what? The divine nature, which is what? Latent in everyone. You got to wake it up in you. The lower energy centers from 3 to 1, they represent the life of the lower nature. I keep telling you, I do this. That means you're living down here below your waist. You see me doing that? That means you're rising up. And watch this. The animal nature. Animals live on the beastly nature. Why? And they seek to do what? Just survive and gain supremacy over who? Others for gratification of the senses, the physical part. Okay? They want to be in charge. They want to be controlling people. That's the 3 levels. Moving from that lower level to the higher level of consciousness represents the second birth. Here we go. Birth into a spiritual consciousness. I'm born again. I'm born physically. Now you're gonna be born what? Spiritually. You go to church, Christ, they do the same thing. Islam, same thing. Judaism, the same thing. So they're gonna bring you into what they're doing. That's fine. That's what they call it. Born again. Now you're going to something that you're gonna aspire or be good, perfected to be a better self. That's what the intent for religion. That's the intent of spirituality. Okay, that's the intent of right thing for philosophy. We all got the same intent to help you raise your conscious level to know who you are. Lower level, animals don't know who they are. And y'all live on that level, you just like them. You don't know who you are either. At least you got the opportunity because you got consciousness and you got teachers and professors or whoever wanted to help you do just that if you choose to. Again, Maat gives you choice. Now let's talk about the fourth level. This is Kheper, Kheper. This corresponds to what? The fourth energy consciousness center. That's the Anahata chakra. I listen to my man Sadhu Yoga. He said all good. He got the way he could say it. But now we're here with the fourth level. Uh-oh. That's the green level. Okay. That's the heart level. This we going. I was enlightened to this level in my life when I became a pet owner. I got a cat a few years ago. And I became a cat man. And I just came to find out recently that my attraction to cats, they have pineal glands. They're spiritual beings. They connect to God. Okay, that's what sets them apart. Let's go. So let's talk about the fourth one, the Anahata chakra. At the fourth level, you start to show compassion. Okay, now you're starting to care about somebody other than yourself. That's what I learned when I got the pet. Now I got 2. I love black cats. Okay, one got white coat. All right, let's go. In location, this location is located where? At the heart. The heart is the center, opens up what? The possibility of, you ready? For the virgin birth, which is spiritual consciousness, as opposed to what? The lower animal consciousness. You concern yourself with something other than yourself. Now, at this level, your spiritual essence becomes revealed in what? Caring, expressing love for others. I lived that one, so I know that one better than any other. Why? I know the rest of them too, but this one hit me like a good left hook. Boom! Oh, Lord, yeah. I love something other than myself. We claim to love other stuff, yeah, but no, when you know from the heart. So let's go. Now the Kepa or the Anahata chakra is related to what? The gland in the body known as the thymus. Thymus being very large at babies and then shrinking as we got mature. The thymus is what? Intrinsically related to the immune system. If your heart is good, your health gonna be better. Why? Because that's what pumps the goodness throughout the body. And watch this. The immune system and weakens and we become what? Ill. Black heart, evil people, they stay sick. If we evaluate ourselves, watch this. When we become ill, what happens? We find that we are usually what? Involved in what? Self-defeating or self-destructive attitudes and behaviors, overwork, frustration, drugs, alcohol, bad relationships. All those are just stressful, okay? And are not in a situation to what? Freely give love to our very selves, much less to all humanity. Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world. My man said, and cheers. How you doing, Norm? He said, I'm going through world with milk bone drawers on. So everybody bite them in the ass. He said, it's a dog eat dog world, and I got milk bone drawers on. So everybody's chomping that. I like that idea, but yeah. But if we are not cautious, we become what? Trapped in what? This negative way of existence. We call it life. If you're doing something that's not benefiting you, that's not bringing you happiness, and why you continue to do that? So that's what they're saying. And what happens? You exist, which becomes what? A vicious cycle. Yeah. Yeah. How do we break this cycle? There you go. I got you. By performing selfless service to others. Care about somebody other than yourself. I took on the cat. I took on teaching right thing philosophy. I'm giving of myself to somebody else. I ain't asking for nothing in return. That's a selfless service. That's how you stay out of that quagmire of the hamster wheel. Chasing ain't going nowhere. Burning a bunch of energy. And watch this. Selfless service to others and very difficult task. Why? When we feel as though we are the ones who need to be served. That's the ego mindset. Me, I ain't doing for nobody else. Ignorance, total. However, there we go. Let me wrap this one up. We must remember the divine rule, cosmic law. You got to give to receive. You're not gonna receive before you give. It don't work that way. What? It's cosmic law, not man's law, not my law. No, cosmic. That means it's done this way in the discussion. But you can't learn with a bunch of buts. Hear, understand, reflect, meditate, get understanding. And then if you got an issue with that, take it up with a rational, logical concept and understand it. Not just how you feel because it don't match what you think and feel. I could care less. Sorry about that. Let's go number 5. Here we go. We getting there. Now, fever, doctor. The throat. Makaru. That's one of my favorites. Let's talk about it. Number 5 is called second. There we go. And it corresponds with the 5th energy conscious level. And it's called the Vashuddha chakra. And it's located in the throat. You see Mason do this? That's a sign to cut the throat. The chakra of Medunetta. Here you go. Divine speech. Medunetta means voice of God. God speaking. Okay? That's where they got the idea that God wrote the book. No, he didn't. The Bible, no, ain't nothing to do with that. This is old ancient concepts when we were really doing what we need to do. So it means divine speech, speaking truth. This center is involved with what? Our ability to what? Receive love. How? From others. My cats love me. Huh? They show me. They don't come in. They rub up on me. They show me love. And when you treat people right, I feed them every day. You show them love, they give it back. Humans, see, animals don't think like we do, so they just give it unconditional. It's hard for us as humans to give unconditional love. So watch this. When you're able to receive love, I can accept it at this point in my life. At one time, I maybe couldn't. I might misunderstood it or didn't understand it. So at this point, I get it. But watch this. Receive love from others, our self value. Know your wealth. Know your worth. Why? If you think less of yourself, so will others. Imbalance in this energy center, watch this, may be expressed as the what? The inability to what? Communicate our needs to people around us and the world at large. Some people are introverts. They can't express themselves. They can't outwardly express themselves to others as well as other people can. When you have knowledge and confidence in yourself, you don't have a problem. That takes care of itself. You speak when you want to speak. You say what you want to say. Simple. Thus, watch this. It is likened to what? Illness such as harshness and sore throats, which usually occur, watch this, as a result of what? Communication difficulties. Watch this. This is what I'm talking about, such as what? Shouting, screaming, and the attempt to be heard. I never forget, I was at my brother's house doing my show, and me and the brother was having a conversation. And my sister-in-law said, Brother Wright, it don't make a difference how loud you say it. Okay, it ain't gonna make much of a difference. All you doing is making yourself hoarse. And I used to be, my voice stayed scratchy. My voice stayed raspy. I hated that. I said, what the hell? Oh, stop with the unnecessary jibber jabber when you're dealing with ignorant people. I learned that lesson well over 5, 6 years ago, and I've been practicing it ever since. I'm not going to engage in a bunch of nonsensical conversation to get my voice and get myself in the hole to be heard. Nope, I come here to do that. So that level, at the fifth level, you speak honestly. What somebody else is saying shouldn't carry much weight, okay? But you do what you need to do. Now let's get to my favorite, number 6, myrrh. Myrrh is the corresponding with the 6 energy chakras, okay, center. Ajna, AJNA chakra. Dun, 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 dun. This will tell you about me. Watch. If the third eye is located, it's the third eye, the level of what? Intuitive wisdom, that's our set. That does not require what? Thinking or the mind process. This is the eye of Haru. You, the light of intuitive vision from the innocent. It is the level of what? You ready? Knowing something instead of thinking or believing we know something. Herein lies the ability to what? Perceive the spirit as well as matter, and to live in both equally. When you understand spiritual realm, you get comfortable in the physical realm. I work out physically to take care of my body. I study to show myself improved, but I manifest what I study and my principles that I live by. I use them daily. It ain't I say this and I do that. I teach if what they say don't match what they do, don't trust them. They're lying. Simple. If your actions or your words ain't matching your actions, or your action ain't matching your word, one of them is wrong. And they both can't be on the same team if one of them is wrong. Moving on. Let's go. I'm almost done. Appreciate you. I ain't looking at that. Could care less. Right now, I'm doing what I do. Let's get this over with. I'm almost home. 7th one. Ike. IKH. It corresponds with the 7th energy consciousness center, which is where? Sa Ha Shara chakra. This is the 7th. This is the crown chakra. Now, they say the crown of the head. When the third eye open, you have inner spiritual vision, intuitive knowledge that you acquire as you're raising up. Things are happening, so you're acquiring all this stuff. Trust me. Now, at the 7th chakra, what's happening? This is the energy consciousness level where what? The dualistic mind, which thinks in double, symbolized by who? Apophis, and the life-giving fire, the primal energies become what? United, into one whole. This is where what? A prophet is transformed into what? The Uraeus, aka Buto, the highest achievement of all spiritual movement. We call it Nihas. The conscious level represents what? No, excuse me. This conscious level represents what? The level of transcendence. Where what? Y'all ready for this one? Christ anointed occurs. You become one with your maker. If you're a Christian, you become one with God. That's Christ-like, being anointed, waking up, realizing you and the Father are one. He knew the kingdom of heaven. He knew all of that. So he was well versed in knowledge of self. Okay? So watch this. It tells you it's here where the merging of what? The individual by the soul with the absolute reality, universal by Haru, Ra, Asar, Pata. See what I'm going to? All those have reached this level. You want to reach that level for yourself. That's why I want you to do you. Why? Because that's only what's going to happen. I can't do it for you. All the things I'm giving you are stuff that you have to perform for yourself. And the results is the best part about it. Before you get the results, you got to put the work in. That's the beauty part. I did mine. I can tell you about it. Why? I got to go through it. Now, this occurs when what? The symbolism is expressed in the idea of what? Remember the Sphinx? Wherein the lion body, lower nature, beastly nature, that's what it represents. They had the concept way back then, watch this, of the Sphinx. It merges with what? The human head, what? The higher self, which is who? God. The Sphinx is also a symbol of who? Hadu, me and you. We come from a beastly nature. We raise our consciousness. I forgot to say, yeah, the last one is purple. Excuse me. Matter of fact, the 6th and 7th one here is purple. I know what that's about. You got indigo, then you got blue, whatever the difference. They call it hospital handicap blue, and you got dark blue. Or the sky, it got 2 shades of blue. Okay, so that's the concept. But where we at? Now down here, when you become spiritually enlightened, when you reach Christhood, when your physical body, your mind, conscious mind, connects with your conscious mind, which is in the heart, you become one with yourself. You become one with your higher self. I'm trying to make it clear as I could. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. So below, they got a picture right here. Try to keep the pictures for you. See the 2 scales? One is the Indian concept of the chakras, which is inside the body. The other is the Egyptian side at Judgment Day. Okay? So they were both versed in the concept and understanding about the spirit and soul and the 7 chakra system. But like here, from the book of Coming Forth by Day, I met the devourer of sinful souls. If your heart is heavier than the feather maya, you're a sinner. Okay, and he get to eat your heart. So the difference between the animals 1, 2, 3 is those born, watch this, those born of the spirit from 4 to 7 by biting the staff at what? The scale of Mayat at the point between what? The 3rd and the 4th circles. Why? It symbolizes that the energy centers of the scale of Mayat at the point between the 3rd and 4th cycle of the body, excuse me, the energy centers of the body. Okay, scale between the 4 and now, Mayat holds out her what? Her left hand, which is holding what? The Minat, which is a symbol. Okay? Symbol of what? Union of what? Male and female. The Indian called it the linga. Male and female organs. You got the ovum with the penis going between the organs. Now, the 7 energy centers are also called 7 Uraeuses. At the right, you see the drawing of the Indian Kundalini yoga showing the location of the energy centers in the body. Now, this particular version of the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day was prepared for what? For initiates, the Kung people of Africa. The knowledge of the life force inherent in the human body, which was known as the Rabuto in Egypt, Kundalini in India, Chi in China, and Kwa or Ka in Japan. Everybody knew about it, and everybody had a different name for it. Again, so thank God. Existed, watch this, in various traditions around the world. The Kong Nation of Africa, who reside in the Kalahari Desert, are one of the what societies referred to as Bushmen, the Clickmen. Okay, now they possess what the knowledge of what the inner life force we call Kundalini, they call it serpent power or Buto. And from the ancient times, they practiced the discipline to what arouse it for the purpose of attaining spiritual enlightenment. I'm gonna end my lesson on that one because that's the goal of us as human beings, more important, right thinkers. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. That's part one. Oh, I got some more. I got a whole chapter for you. I'll be back.